At this year's E3, 2 new Metroid games were announced. Metroid Samus Returns for the 3DS, and the game that everyone hoped for, Metroid Prime 4 for the Nintendo Switch. However, there is no information about Metroid Prime 4, is there? Well, there might not be any direct statements about what the game could be about or what it would even look like, but there is definite hints on what the story could be like. But before we hop into that, let's look at what we know for certain so far. At first, everyone thought it was Retro Studios working on Metroid Prime 4, as they've been responsible for Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3. However, we know that they are currently busy with another project, so it won't be Retro Studios themselves developing the game. Yet, Kensuke Tanabe is going to be the producer of Metroid Prime 4. Tanabe was the producer of many games already and will most likely use his experience in order to turn this game into a masterpiece as well. Among others, he worked on Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3, Ocarina of Time, Pikmin, Donkey Kong Country Returns, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Mario & Luigi, Paper Jam, Paper Mario Sticker Star, Paper Mario Color Splash, Metroid Prime Federation Force.
Are you sure this guy is still capable of pulling this off? Isn't he getting a little old?
Nah, he knows what he's doing. At least the last 3D Metroid wasn't from him. Yes, I am looking at you, Other M. But jokes aside, the direction Tanabe might want to head for isn't all that bad. Actually, at second thought, Federation Force wasn't such a bad idea. Not even joking. The execution was just really bad.
In an interview with US Gamer, Tanabe said that Federation Force was an attempt to expand the Metroid Prime universe and show different perspectives of the world apart from Samus. This is in general not a bad idea, if people weren't waiting for a game with Samus, and not a bunch of random soldiers which are usually found dead somewhere in Metroid Prime 2. But what does that say about Metroid Prime 4? Why would Federation Force have anything to do with this? Well, the game is set somewhere around Metroid Prime 3's time period. Actually, even a little past that. Tanabe stated that he has a couple of story ideas around the Federation Force themselves, Samus and Sylux. This makes it really likely that the story in Metroid Prime 4 results from the occurrences in Federation Force. Having 2 different games with different stories that both ultimately lead to a third game would make a huge and really strong whoa effect. With Tanabe wanting to make video games about the Federation Force, Samus and Sylux, the credits scene from Federation Force hinting towards Sylux makes it suddenly really relevant. So, why in the world would you release Federation Force first? The game could have been received really well if it was explained properly, maybe even coming out with Metroid Prime 4, and not featuring a minigame that was seemingly more interesting than the actual game. So who in the world could have known that a game that didn't even sell 100,000 copies would be relevant? That a game that had worse sales than Metroid Pinball would actually have an impact on the story? Well, we certainly didn't. So what can we almost for certain say about Metroid Prime 4? Looking at the end of Metroid Prime 3, Sylux is after Samus, so that's old news. Looking at the end of Federation Force, Sylux most likely now has his own Metroid. Still sort of old news. Tanabe said that he's pretty much done with Dark Samus, so there needs to be another villain.
Looking at how Metroid games are usually built up, it is a definite possibility that Metroid Prime 4 will play out during the events of Federation Force at first, and then go beyond it, making Sylux, without a Metroid, a mini-boss, who eventually loses to Samus and then returns after Federation Force with a Metroid, or maybe even more. This, however, would have to include Samus being brainwashed and the player witnessing it in Metroid Prime 4, as this is one of the late game occurrences in Federation Force. While this could go well, with Samus once again losing her abilities before rescuing the Federation Force team, we don't really see them pulling off such a story-heavy element. But we're almost certain that the story of Metroid Prime 4 will be stronger than the ones in the previous games, and we're definitely looking forward to it, as Metroid Prime 3 and Federation Force have definitely set the series up for an amazing showdown. I guess we'll have to wait and see when the game's released, if that happens anytime soon at least. since the only thing they showed off was the logo and that they're working on it. But at least everything is ready for it in terms of story. Let's all just hope that we get more info in 2018. Thank you for watching our little story video surrounding Metroid Prime 4. If you are interested in some beta stuff or other game design videos, make sure to check out our other content, or hit that button in the center so you won't miss our weekly updates.